Good morning, how are we doing? Hope you're good. So, in today's show, we're going to talk about how we get out of thinking small all of the time and how we start thinking much bigger to elevate your potential as a guy who's trying to, if you like, be successful or make it in the world or achieve lots of great things and live a purposeful, fulfilling life. Okay, so we're going to try and change the mindset in this show. This is show 450, which is madness. We're only 50 away from the from the 500. I was going to say half century then, but half thousand. So I hope you all had a really great weekend. I hope you're all ready to go for the week. So we're going to dive straight into this show now. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman, and if you are coming through, then please do let me know either by hitting the love heart button or commenting that you're here. Comment good morning, let me know what you did at the weekend. Okay, let me know also as well, if you are willing to, are you thinking big enough for you? And I don't mean just every now and then you kind of think big, but are you taking action? Are you taking big action? Okay, so when we think bigger, we've got to back it up with big action. Okay, big thinking equals big action. So just a real quick one, guys, just in case you're not on the 18th of September to the 20th of September, we are running a free 3-day course which is called Awaken Your Potential. It's 3 masterclasses that would be run on the 18th, 19th, 20th at 8 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock at night. You'll get instant access to our coaching program and all of the services that come with it, all the accountabilities and courses. You'll get given an elite movement blueprint, giveaway blueprint, which is 5 of our most impactful online courses, plus a copy of my PDF best-selling book, Remember the Mission, totally free. Plus a bonus session on the 14th of September, plus an opportunity to come down here and spend a day with me in Bexhill for a coaching day. I mean, you know, could possibly be the biggest giveaway ever. Anyway, right, let's get in. So, I want to use this scenario. I used it on my stories this morning on Instagram and on a post yesterday. And it shows you how you can think bigger and the outcomes off the back of thinking bigger. So let's say you've got 28 pounds to lose, which is I think 2 stone off the top of my head, and for whatever reason you've just put on 2 stone, so you're carrying around this extra weight and it makes you feel lethargic, makes you feel unattractive, it makes you feel like low on self-belief, low on self-esteem, low on confidence, all right? And it could have been just because of misplaced time, focus, energy. But you decide to go on a process or a mission now where you want to lose that weight, okay? Now, there are 2 different options here. There is that just doing enough, and then there is thinking bigger. And I just want to get you into that process of how we can think bigger, right? So the normal process, and this is okay, this is okay, but I just want to show you the difference. Let's say we focus on tracking calories. Let's say there's an 8-week period. So we're going to say, right, for 8 weeks, we're going to go on this process, this mission. And in the first case, in the first scenario, you track your calories, you do 3 workouts a week, and you aim for 2 pounds loss a week, all right? Which takes you up to 16 pounds. So in two months, the aim is to lose 16 pounds by tracking your calories and doing 3 workouts a week. You with me so far? All right, so nothing really wrong with that. So then we flip on to the other side and I say to you, I think we can do more. Okay, I think we can do more. So I say, let's track calories. Let's do 5 workouts a week. Let's lose 3 pounds a week, which is 3, 6, 9, 12, which is 24 pounds loss over 8 weeks, right? So in theory, we're looking at like getting an extra 6 to 8 pounds off by just following that. But on top of that, let's think a little bigger. Let's be more ambitious, okay? Let's implement a morning routine so that you're able to build some element of time, energy and focus in the morning so that you get some time to yourself to reflect. Let's introduce an evening accountability system where you reflect on your day and you journal your day based on scores, what your wins were, what you overcome, what your distractions were. Let's introduce a date night once a week with your wife so that you can build the connection along the way and you can share the journey with her. Okay. Let's have phones off at 1800. Okay, so that when you come home you're fully present for the family. Yep. Okay. So there's just a couple of bits of how we can think bigger and how we can push bigger. Okay. There's other things that we could add on to there, right? Do you know what I mean? So one scenario, okay, will be you know, let's just do 3 a week, like, you know, let's trickle along, trickle along nicely, you know, let's see what we're made of. Now realistically, over the 8 weeks there are going to be ups and downs of life. That's just the way life is, right? It's full of ups and downs, full of distractions and temptations. So let's say you only achieve 50% of Model A or Model B. Now if you achieve 50% of what you aim to achieve in Model 1, that's okay. That's all right, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's like maybe 8 to 10 pounds worth of weight loss. Maybe you only got 1 workout in a week. Maybe you got 2 every now and then. Maybe you got the 3 in the odd week. Maybe you track calories maybe half of the time. But then if we look at the other model, if we only achieve 50% of that, do you know what I mean? We're talking about going, right, okay, so I got 3 workouts a week in. Like, I didn't always get my 5, but I got 3. Do you know what I mean? I lost between 2 and 3 pounds a week, not always 3. You know, I turn my phone off 60% of the time over the 8 weeks. I made 50% of the date nights, not all of them, okay? I made 60% of my morning routine. So what I'm getting at is that actually, even at 50%, when you're more ambitious, you're going to achieve more than you would do if you thought small and played it safe. Okay? Because 50% of the ambitious routine that we chose is still going to monumentally elevate you from the way that you used to live. Because actually over 8 weeks, you might have got 4 date nights in, which brought you much closer together than if you hadn't introduced that. You might have spent half of those 8 weeks where you turned your phone off and you were much more present in the family home than you would have been in the mediocre type of thinking small mentality. Okay, and it's that mentality that we've got to have. So I think, like, huge. So very, very ambitious. I think to myself, this is what I want to achieve. These are my targets. When I look at them, I think the first thing I think to myself is, these are unrealistic. These are scary. But if I didn't have that huge margin here where I thought bigger, okay, what I would think is, right, I'm going to think small in here. And let's say I achieve 50% of that target that I set myself, that's unrealistic, that feels scary, that feels unachievable. That 50% will far surpass my small thinking mentality. Because if I only hit 50% of my small thinking mentality, man, I'm going to be right down here. You can't even see below the screen. Okay. So when we think big and we aim big, we don't always have to have achieved that target. We just have to start thinking bigger, because unless we start thinking bigger, the execution does not follow. That level and that standard of execution does not match the thought process. When you think small, when you play it safe and you make excuses and you live that mediocre type of lifestyle and you have that average mentality, your actions follow that. And the outcomes are a direct byproduct of that thinking and that action taking. Whereas when you flip it and you go big, do you know what I mean? You push harder, you work harder, you show up more. And it's not about getting the medal. It's not about getting the medal. It's about the process that leads you to the medal, that changes everything, right? It's about becoming closer to your wife. It's about going from a high achiever, okay, to an even higher achiever. It's like going from an ambitious guy to a really ambitious guy. And the results off the back of that are the byproduct of your life. So more happiness, more focus, more achievement, more control, higher self-esteem, higher self-belief, higher self-confidence. Do you know what I mean? So whenever you're thinking about doing something, you've got to say, am I challenging myself? Am I staying in that comfort zone? Am I doing this, let's play safe? Do you know what I mean? I keep saying that, do you know what I mean? Must be a counter-actor. So it's, I think it's important as well to understand that when you think big, it's great. Everybody thinks big. Probably everyone's got these ambitions, but it's how you execute. Okay? Execution is king, always. Okay? If you're not executing, all you've got is a daydream. That's all you've got. And at the end of the day, this is your life. You can keep playing it safe, living the mediocre, average, stay safe mentality, or you can get up and go and do something with your life. And I was talking, I don't know where I spoke about this. I was talking about this thing. I was talking to this old lady, and absolutely lovely old lady, struggling with her mobility. And when I come away from it, I was like, that's going to be me one day. Like, I'm going to be struggling to walk. I'm not going to have the same opportunities physically, mentally and emotionally as I get older. Because every single day is taking me that step closer to when I go up there and when I'm done. And I don't want to get to that point where I look back and have to carry around the regret of not thinking big enough, of not being ambitious enough, of not being driven enough or passionate enough about squeezing every little bit of life that there is, about training, about constantly developing, about being connected to my wife, about making sure I bring up the kids the right way. Because as we get older, those opportunities narrow. And they never really go, but they narrow. And I felt for this old lady because it would probably take her nearly 2 hours to get in town from here. Whereas it would only take me 15 minutes in a minute. But one day it is going to take me 2 hours to get into town. And then suddenly I'm going to have those limitations. And it's important for you to understand that side of life. Because I don't think enough people think about where their lives are going and what's going to happen in the future. And it's not doom and gloom, it's just reality. It's just reality. And the group of men that I speak to, which is usually from 30 onwards, which probably really should be younger than that, so we can really get it into men's heads, is that the more you stall on this, the more you procrastinate, the more you keep saying, I'll get round to it, the more you keep feeding yourself that BS over and over and over again with excuses, the shorter your window is to making something of yourself and your life and making a great life with your family and bringing up those kids. Because when those kids are 16 and 18, I'm telling you now, I am struggling with them being that age, and I think anyone else that will tell you who's around that age will be struggling too. Because suddenly we go like, now what? Do you know what I mean? So think big. Think big, be ambitious, see how far you can go, see what you can achieve. Remember, the medal is not the outcome, the process is. That is what we're looking for. The process is what creates the journey. So, I hope that helps. Let me know what your number one takeaway is, and I'll catch you soon.